If you are an empath who is sick and tired of taking BS and absorbing negative energy from toxic and manipulative people, if you're struggling with saying no and feeling guilty, right? Because empaths, we just freaking do that. Or you feel like you're giving a lot more than what you're receiving back. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 basic things that you can do as an empath to take your power back and stand in it confidently, thus repelling toxic and manipulative people from taking advantage of your phenomenal, badass freaking light. So if that sounds good to you, you're going to want to hang out and watch this video. And do me a favor, hit that thumbs up if that's a topic that you feel you really need. We'll just consider that a virtual high five from one empath to another. Make sure you hang out till the end of the video because I have a couple different freebies for you that will really help enhance your natural intuitive and psychic gifts. All right, so real quick, if you're brand spanking new here and you have no idea who I am, give me a quick second, let me introduce myself. My name is Judi Jamieson and I am a psychic. I teach intuition and psychic development to empaths who are going through a spiritual awakening, some kind of trauma or life transition, and how to heal from toxic and manipulative, even narcissistic people by working with your spirit guides. So if that sounds like something that really interests you and you really want help with, I am your new virtual best friend, and you're gonna want to hit the subscribe button that's right underneath this video. If you're not already a subscriber, I'm gonna give you a quick second to do that right now. Make sure you hit that little bell too, this way you get notified when new videos come out. All right, so you ready? Let's get this party started. Real quick, the 4 things, and then I'm gonna go through the video and go into a little bit more detail so you kind of have an idea as to what I'm gonna talk about here. First one, boundaries. As an empath, you have to have boundaries, and I'm gonna go into detail as to how to step into those boundaries and exert them without feeling guilty. Second one is communication. Communication skills when you are dealing with a toxic, manipulative person are very important. The third one, as an empath, is not allowing yourself to get emotionally vested and sucked into the toxic situation. The fourth one is learning how to not take things personally. As empaths, we're people pleasers. We want to make everybody happy, and we kind of feel like shit sometimes when someone's not happy with us. So I'm going to go over how to fix that. I think in the beginning I said 4. It's actually 5. So the 5th one is learning how to focus on yourself and self-love. All right, so number 1, boundaries. A lot of times we think boundaries are for other people, right? We exert a boundary and we expect someone else to listen to it, respect it, or honor it. Boundaries are really not about other people because when you think about it, you can't control what other people say, do, think, or respond to something. So boundaries are really about you honoring those boundaries. So to give you an example, if you set a boundary, if you say no, if you have the courage to open your mouth and say no, because we're afraid we're going to rock the boat or hurt somebody else's feelings, you're doing a total disservice to yourself and the other person. So when you establish whatever your boundaries are, that you're not going to tolerate being talked to that way or whatever the situation is, you establish that boundary. You then put the ball in the other person's court, right? Depending on whether or not they like that, they accept it, or they respect it, which if we're talking about toxic people, more than likely they're not going to care because it's all about them. If they don't listen to it, you can't have the mindset, but they're not listening to it or respecting it. You then have to step into your power. Remember, the boundary is for you, not the other person. You then have the ability to respond through a couple different things. You can simply respond with, you know what, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I'm sorry you're not respecting me enough to listen to this. You can remove yourself from that situation or person. You can end the conversation. It goes back on you to step into your power and honor yourself. The second one is communication. I have noticed a lot of times when you're communicating with a toxic person, if you have the mindset, you are doing this, or you are doing that, or you're making me feel that way, you're automatically going to put the other person on the defense, and it's going to create a back and forth freaking crazy emotional freaking yo-yo roller coaster, right? But when you step into I feel this way, I think this way. You're taking ownership for how you are feeling, and you're not putting somebody else on the defense. You see what I mean? When it comes to communicating with a toxic person, because it really depends on if you're dealing with a narcissist or somebody who's just in a shitty mood or somebody who just likes to take advantage of people. The key here is responding, not reacting, because when you react to something, you're coming from a place of an emotional trigger, right? A lot of times when we react later on, we're like, oh shit, man, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have acted that way. Now I look like an idiot, right? You get what I'm saying? So when something is going on, evaluate your energy, evaluate the situation, take a moment to process it, and then respond. You don't have to immediately react. The third thing is not getting emotionally involved and engaging with that chaos. So let me give you a quick example as to how this would work. Think of it like when you go to court, right? For someone like me, I had to go to court to file a protection from abuse order from somebody. The other person is going to try and trigger you and get you to slip up and get you to act in a certain way. They're going to pull out all of the crazy making strategies. But when you're in court, right, when you're on the stand, the jury is looking for the facts as to what is going on. So when you allow yourself to detach from the emotions and look at things from an outside perspective, you're not allowing yourself to get emotionally charged and then reacting and feeding into the chaos and the madness even more. If you're dealing with a narcissist, you got to do a different little bit of a gameplay. One, you need to completely cut them out of your freaking life, because you're never going to heal or establish. They're not going to listen. You can't work with a narcissist. But if you're someone who has children with a narcissist and you need to co-parent with one, or you work with one that you can't get away from, what you want to do is what's called the gray rock method. Because toxic and manipulative people, they feed off of your reaction, okay? The more you're reacting, the more you're going back and forth, the more they're getting their food or their energy. So the gray rock method is a way to what you do, because as empaths, we know how to adapt and survive around certain people and situations, right? What you want to do is put on your best poker face. Show no emotion whatsoever. And you want to become like a rock that is immovable, meaning not allowing someone to dictate your emotions and charge you and get you swaying all over the place. So when you're communicating with someone like this, you want to keep your answers short and sweet with the poker face. I'm sorry you feel that way. No, I can't do that without an explanation. You don't have to explain to people or justify why you're doing anything. You want to stick to business only. The fourth thing is not taking things personally. Now, I know as an empath, right, we absorb things. We want to make everybody happy, right? When something doesn't go our way or somebody doesn't like something, we take that personally. One of the ways to not take things personally is to understand. It's basically mirroring, right? What is going on is however the other person is acting or responding to whatever it is that you are saying or doing or trying to get away from, however they react is actually a personal reflection of what is going on within themselves. It really has nothing to do with you. They have their own unhealed emotional traumas or baggage or effed up whatever the hell is going on there. And they're just simply mirroring and trying to put it on you, whatever is going on with them. When you present a certain situation, opportunity, boundary, whatever, people have two different ways on how they can respond or react. If it's something that triggers them that's unhealed, they're going to come out and they're going to be angry. They're going to cut you down to size. They're going to insult you. They're going to try and make you feel guilty. All of those things are actually internal pieces of them. Okay? It has nothing to do with you. A person who is really in tune with themselves, who has done the inner healing work, doesn't get triggered and react that way. They don't hold hate. They don't hold resentment. As empaths, we don't want to make people feel guilty, right? So do you kind of see what I'm saying here? You can't control what other people say, do, or think, okay? It is all a external reflection of what is going on within themselves. An easy way to not take things personally. And And number 5, the last one, focus on yourself. As empaths, a lot of times we put ourselves last and put everybody else's needs, wants, and desires first. In order to maintain your own power and your own energy, you have to put yourself as a priority. Think of it this way. If you're giving and giving and giving, right, and you're being drained and drained and drained, and the other person is not filling it, you're the only one who can fill your tank, right? So do things that fill your tank. Do things that make you recharge your energy. Whether it's on your lunch break, going out to the car and listening to some music that brings you up, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's meditating, whatever it is that works for you. You have to set aside and schedule time for you. Think of it this way. If you feel guilty doing that, right? Because a lot of times society will tell us that's selfish. That's a bunch of freaking BS. You are no good to anyone who actually gives a shit about you if you are constantly depleted. If you're looking to other people to fill your tank, you're gonna be disappointed and get depleted. So you have to focus on your own needs, wants, and desires and learn how to take the time to fill your own tank. An easy way to look at this is, as empaths, we do need our alone time, right? To regroup, to detach, whatever it is that we need to do. When you're in that alone time, focus on you and filling your energetic battery. The more you fill your battery, the more you feel confident doing that, the easier it'll be for you to maintain that high vibe energy when you're dealing with a toxic person. So let me do a quick recap here for you before I tell you about these freebies. Boundaries, communication skills, not getting emotionally invested and charged, not taking things personally, and focusing on yourself. All right, so before I tell you about these freebies here for you, the whole reason why I do these videos is to make them interactive. The only way that is going to happen is if you comment below. So I got a question for you. As an empath, if there's other things that you do that you have learned how to protect and shield yourself from toxic and manipulative people, do me a favor and share them below with me and anybody else who is watching so they can have some additional tips. The other thing, if you are struggling with this kind of stuff, comment below and tell me specifically what it is that you are struggling with or what it is that you want help so I can make a video to help you out, because I'm sure you're not the only one who would be having the same pain point or struggle. All right, so let me tell you about these freebies, right, that'll really help you power up. The first one is Toxic Energy Repellent for Empaths. It's a PDF that you can download and you could read through, giving you additional steps. The second one is cord cutting. As empaths, I do this on a daily basis, okay? Cord cutting is essential from detaching and removing that negative, etheric, energetic cord that you created with a person, place, or thing. Sometimes it's even us dealing with our own internal BS, right? It's not always about somebody else, because we can get in our freaking head and get lost in our emotions. The third one I have for you is how to spot a narcissist. Now, I'm not talking about what society thinks is just someone has a big freaking ego and they think they're all freaking hot shit. I'm talking about a true dangerous personality disorder. These are the master manipulators, the sheeps in the devil's, or what the frick is that called? The devil in sheep's clothing. I don't even freaking know. It's completely missing my brain right now. It's the devil in disguise, right? In a physical form. Narcissists are everywhere. They are an empath's true enemy. These are the people who suck the life out of you. They suck your soul dry and then throw you away with no freaking remorse once they've sucked all the life out of you. Their end goal is to freaking kill your soul. So underneath this video, there's 3 different freebies there that'll really help you out depending on what your issue is or what it is that you want help with. Something else I have for you, it's not a freebie, it's an online course I have. It's called Open Your Intuition and Your Psychic Senses. Now, when you're working with your spirit guides, trying to heal yourself and power up, there's 3 different steps that you need to go through to really kick ass with connecting with your guides. The first one is doing all the personal internal healing work, which is understanding your triggers, understanding your traumas, doing shadow work, and cord cutting. Once you do that, you've cleaned yourself out totally, right, from all toxic residual crap. Once you're a nice clear conduit conduit and channel, and you're nice and healthy and powered up, you have emotional intelligence, you know how things work within you, that is when you're able to really hear your intuition, because you're not getting all clogged up with what's going on in here and in here like a freaking dirty ass spaghetti. The third part of that is, now that you know how to read your own energy, you'll be able to pick up and receive outside psychic energy, meaning your spirit guides or your crossed over loved ones. So if that is something that you're interested in, and you just want to skip to the freaking line and skyrocket your gifts and power up and permanently remove all kinds of traumas, you're going to want to take that course. And again, I'll have the link to that right underneath this video. So if you thought this video was easy enough, right, basic things that you can do, and you enjoyed it, please do me a favor and share this video with other people who you think need to hear it. You know, those people pleasers, the ones who don't know how to say no, the ones who get taken advantage of. Again, if you liked the video and you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for me. All right, so I hope you have a wonderful, phenomenal, high vibrational, kick freaking ass day. Hopefully you hit that subscribe button. You're going to talk to me below. I do get notifications when people comment, and I do reply back. Hopefully I'll see you real soon right here on this channel. Go kick today's ass.